And welcome back, everybody, to the TV show. My name's Jay Black, joined as always by Angelo Cataldi and Rhea Hughes. Hello, guys.
Hello. How you doing?
And today is a big day because the Oscars aired on Sunday, and it was a very big day for our own Angelo Cataldi because from what I understand, Angelo, I think you said last week it'll be the first time you ever watched it live rather than having to do it the next morning.
1 hour, 20 minutes. I went to bed at 9:20.
But still, but for someone who had to wake up at 3 a.m., right? Or were you 3 a.m. or 2 a.m.? What was your...
I was 2:30.
2:30?
Yeah.
I mean, going to bed at 9 p.m. is like a regular person going to bed at like 5 in the morning. I mean, that's an insane night for you.
Well, I'm still trying to push that time back, but it's 33 years of regimen. Rhea could tell you it's nuts. It's very hard to do. But you know what? I did watch the rest. I taped it, and it wasn't terrible.
No,
it was good. It was not terrible.
Yeah, so let's jump into the overall discussion of it because there's a bunch of points I want to hit. Number one, they went back to a regular Oscars. Yes. They didn't do anything funky. It wasn't like, let's go to different parts, different rooms, different setups. It was like, here's a giant stage and here's famous people giving each other awards. And I got to tell you, kind of a return to form. Maybe it's a little boring, but boring is not bad sometimes. It was a very acceptable broadcast. That was my opinion on it. Rhea, what'd you think?
Yeah, they just went back to what worked. You have a host who's not up there to destroy people. Clearly that was the thing. He was going to take his little pot shots and I thought it was, what I thought made it really good were the reactions to the winners, because although everybody, loves a sore loser because it makes for fun TV, I thought the entire room and even the people who were going against everything, whoever, whatever the name of the movie is, they appeared really joyous for them. And I thought that made it really, that the Hollywood crowd is an in crowd, and their acceptance and joy for the win, I thought made it better.
See, Rhea, this is why we're so different. So my favorite moment in the entire Academy.
I know.
Jamie Lee Curtis wins for that awful movie. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. That was an awful movie. And I also loved that she broke the Curtis curse. Because Tony Curtis and Lee, they both were great actors in many tremendous movies and never won an Oscar. So Jamie Lee won. But the best thing that happened was they locked in on Angela Bassett. And did you see the puss on her face? It was the most honest moment you could ever get. And I applaud her for not being thrilled somebody else won because she thought she was better. Good for her. That's a real reaction. It's not all that, Spielberg, the other guy won, I'm so happy. No, you're not. That was your life story and you lost.
I thought the other people were nice, but I will tell you, that was hysterical. I can't say that I didn't laugh my ass off.
I don't appreciate good sportsmanship.
I understand. I worked with you a long time.
Well, I wrote you guys about this. I am far more dialed into Twitter nonsense than you guys are. And that's a testament to your sanity and my insanity. But the immediate aftermath of the Angela Bassett thing was fascinating because the first round of people were people going, I can't believe Angela Bassett showed such bad sportsmanship and she should have smiled and applauded. And then immediately there was a wave of people going after the original wave of people for saying that she should have showed more class. And I'm with you, Angelo. If I ever get an Oscar nomination for one of my stupid movies, you better believe I'm walking in there with a foam number one hand for myself every time they mention me. And if I lose, I'm booing and leaving. My seat filler can be there for the rest of the night.
Just have the number one if you win, and have another hand, but with the middle finger up if you lose.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be an actress all the time. Sometimes you can be a human being and be upset about it.
Oh no, she definitely was. But I loved Harrison Ford with the hug. I thought Michelle was really cool. I like her. I think she's a really good actress. I've seen her in other things. I liked it.
And I want to say that last year at the Emmys, Sheryl Lee Ralph did the greatest acceptance speech ever.
Yes.
But Rhea, there were two in this that were phenomenal also.
Yep.
Ke Huy Quan for that bad movie, right? Everyone, Everywhere, All at Once. And Brendan Fraser, right? Who I was really happy he had won. It was a brilliant performance. He was he was like shaking when he was doing it. And you could tell he's not that good an actor, that was real. And I thought those two were tremendous television. Tremendous.
Two things about them. Number one, Brendan Fraser's career, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get his name wrong. Can you pronounce it again for me, Angelo, so that I don't get it? The other guy.
It was Ke Huy Quan.
Ke Huy Quan. Both of them had no career 3 years ago.
None. Yeah. Right.
Ke Huy Quan very famously lost his health insurance because he wasn't acting enough. You know, he lost his SAG health insurance. Brendan Fraser took the like seventh lead in the Netflix movie, or it might have been an FX TV series about a kidnapping like 3 or 4 years ago, where I just remember going, he was a voice in Doom Patrol. I remember going, this was a movie star. What happened to this guy? Both of them getting Oscars, great. I don't know if you saw the backstage moment between the two of them. It was floating around the internet. They were both in a movie called Encino Man with Pauly Shore.
Oh God, everybody around my age has seen Encino Man.
They were both in it. And you know, Brendan Fraser's given his little interview, and Ke Huy Quan comes up and goes, did you imagine 30 years ago when we were on Encino Man that we would both be holding one of these? And he holds up an Oscar. And I was touched when Ke Huy Quan said, this is the American dream. You know what? He's right. Yep. That's what the American dream is. The guy came over on a boat, was in a refugee camp, and he just got the highest award in Hollywood. I was thrilled for him. You're right. It was a beautiful moment.
You can't script it.
No, you can't. And
certainly,
I need a second here to tell a really cool story. All right, because I don't even know if Rhea remembers this. I'm not even positive she was on our show. See, I'm doing this memoir right now, and I'm reliving everything. And in the early 2000s, our show had a period where we booked a whole bunch of Hollywood stars.
Yep, I was on it. Yep,
Ray Liotta thing. And in one day, Jay waltzes the mom of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
Janet Leigh.
Wow, psycho Janet Leigh.
And first of all, now I think she's passed, but I know that she had to be close to 80 when she came in. She was still insanely beautiful.
Wow.
I mean, it was ridiculous. When she left, we're like, whatever skincare regimen she's doing, I want it. Spectacular.
And the thing was, so now I got Janet Leigh, right? I'm ignoring the sports format. I want her to tell me about the shower scene in Psycho.
Right.
And she goes into tremendous detail on how she wasn't the body. There was a body double.
Oh, wow.
She was there when she went in. They swapped bodies when they weren't showing her face, right? And she says that day, this had to be early 2000. She goes, do you know, I've never felt fully comfortable going in the shower since that scene, because everybody always brings it up to me. And the thing was, they had like 50th anniversary of Psycho or something not that long ago, and they made this story seem like it was fresh. We got it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Rhea, when it comes to breaking Hollywood stories,
that's us.
WIP, the sports station. But she was so sweet, and I couldn't help thinking of her when her daughter was up there winning the Oscar. Because, in all honesty, Janet Leigh is far more accomplished actor than Jamie Lee Curtis, her daughter.
Right. Well, I mean, if we take a moment here to talk about who did or did not deserve an Oscar. I know you hated Tar, Angelo. I know you did. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. Cate Blanchett was a tour de force in that movie. That was she inhabited that character in a way that might have been the best performance, not just of an actress, but of anybody for the last 3 years. I mean, she was.
Then she must have won the Oscar, right, Jay?
No, she didn't win the Oscar.
What do you mean she didn't win?
She didn't win.
Jay, Jay, I read the best thing. Some unnamed guy who's part of the Academy who votes on it, who was really vicious screed he did against everybody. Viola Davis. He just came across as really, actually said he didn't see some of the movies that he voted on. But the line that he had about Kate Blanchett, I thought was hysterical. He goes, Kate Blanchett opens a door in a movie. Got to give her an award because she's just amazing.
Exactly. They ridiculed the first 15 minutes. Jimmy Kimmel ridiculed it, said, how do you do the first 15 minutes with her on stage doing a boring interview? He said it. I told you that. Let me just tell you who should have won. Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams.
For Fabelmans, yeah.
And she had to impress Steven Spielberg, playing Steven Spielberg's own mother. Was she not great in that? The Fabelmans?
She was fantastic. Great movie. That said, Kate Blanchett should win the next Oscar for whatever she does for the Academy to make up for this terrible mistake.
Opening a door, Jay. That's what she's going to do.
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible for me to have less respect than you, but right now I do.
I'm going to fund a movie called Kate Blanchett Opens Doors for 2 hours. I'm going to make it right now. Let's make it happen. So we mentioned Jimmy Kimmel. I thought he did a very good job of not bringing attention to himself. I think he rose to the moment. It was very much like, I'm the talk show host of note. I'm going to tell some jokes that'll make you laugh and move things along nicely. Thought he did a great job. What was your opinions?
Totally agree. Rhea, I liked it.
I loved him. I mean, I'm a fan. You know, I don't get to see him that often. So whenever I see it, it's kind of on tape delay, DVR or whatever.
Right.
But I thought, you know, you have a room full of people who are, although they're the most famous actors and actresses in the world, they're also the most insecure people. So, you know, although we love a Ricky Gervais because it's fun and it's biting, I don't want a bunch of people sitting there looking uncomfortable. And I thought he handled it perfectly. He was funny. He jabbed. He didn't punch you in the face. And, you know, wasn't his opening line about the slap or something like that? I thought was very funny.
He handled it great. I thought he did a great job.
Somebody pointed out on one of the podcasts I was listening to that going back to the original format of it being in a theater with a single host would have stopped the slap from happening. And they said because it was only because of that weirdo setup that they tried last year, like that cabaret style, that Will Smith could get up there to hit him. And they're making the point. I think it's a good point. Like, just some things aren't broken. Just you know, do it the way it's always been done. It could always be shorter. You could always cut out. Nobody cares about documentary short. No one will ever care about documentary short. It will never be a thing that anyone will ever talk about ever. Maybe get rid of that or put it to a different part of the day. But going back to the original format made everybody happy. And the viewers agreed. We always talked ratings on the old radio show, Angelo, and this one did about 18.6 million, which was up about 20% or 10%, I'm sorry, from last year's Oscars, which was up huge from the lowest rated Oscars of all time, which was the pandemic Oscars. So people really cared about it. It seemed like it did a good job. All in all, I give it a B+. I thought it was not a bad broadcast.
Yep, I'm with you.
All right, now, Rhea, when we were planning this, Angelo was originally not going to be here, but we got him. We were so excited that he was able to make it.
Thank goodness.
Rhea said, you know what? I don't care that much about the Oscars. Women don't care that much about the Oscars. You know what we care about? We care about the outfits. So I said, well, why don't you put together some of the outfits? Now, if you're, and we'll show it. If you are listening on the podcast app right now, this is your opportunity to go to the YouTube page. It's in the description. Click on it. You'll be able to see not just the pictures that Rhea grabbed. The captions are my favorite part. Angelo has not seen them, so I'm going to share the screen with Angelo so that he can see what's going on here. I thought they were absolutely hilarious. Let's see. What do I? You can tell how often I do Zoom.
The odds of this happening are remote.
Yeah.
I can figure it out. Hold on. There's a button to share screen.
It should be noticed that it usually takes Jay 10 minutes to just figure out how to tape this show.
I used to be at one point. I got old so quick. I really did.
Yeah.
Share screen. Okay, I got it. I got it. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to put it up in 1 second here. We got. Here we go. Can you see it?
No.
Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to find it.
No.
Can Angelo see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
See it? Okay.
Oh, that idiot.
All right. So this is the first one. Can you imagine sitting behind her from Rhea?
Seriously, like it would be. Look at. Do you see the one guy whose head's like kind of turned? Like this
Yeah.
way? It's. I mean, seriously, like stop thinking about yourself.
Right.
And her name is Thames, right? Rhea? I never even knew
Thames,
who
yes.
she was. Stupid.
Thames.
Get out of here.
Very
She should've been
stupid.
thrown out like Will Smith.
And I will say this. I guess she just went in and said, I want to look like a flower. And
Yes.
I guess on the ride home, though, you don't need a neck pillow because you already have that. So that's good.
It's just really stupid and not. But I would have been furious if I was behind her.
All right. Here's the next one. I love Mindy Kaling, but this dress is tragic in two colors. Yeah.
She actually, and the thing is, she lost so much weight
Yeah.
that she looks fantastic.
Yeah, she
But
does.
this is the ugliest dress I've ever seen.
The-
And she decided to do it twice.
Did she forget to put the top on? Is
Yeah,
that
I don't know what she was thinking. It was just, it was totally. I looked at it and I went, "No, Mindy, you are
Yeah.
so pretty, and
Yeah.
you clearly worked out to get here." But no, it was bad.
I want to say worked out, but also she's one of those celebrities doing the Ozempic. Have you heard of this?
Oh, is she?
Oh,
Got it.
really?
Yeah, it very famously she did the I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's a diabetes drug that makes you feel full all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that sounds good because I want to lose weight. You know how much it costs? It's like $1,000 a month.
Oh my God, no,
That's a lot of
insane.
money. I can't do that. But yeah, the not since Velma has Mindy Kaling made a decision this poor. All right, next up, Nicole Kidman. Wow.
I mean,
Seriously.
there's nothing to even say except
Yeah.
my favorite part of the post Oscars was that Tom Cruise didn't show up to avoid running into her. He
Yeah.
might have wanted to run into her wearing that.
What?
The,
Yeah.
the only thing that would improve that look is if she went back to being a redhead. But otherwise,
Well, yes, and I know how you feel about that.
but she is spectacular. God
Oh,
damn.
it's ridiculous.
I have a knee-jerk reaction because I see a lot of movies in the theater. So every time I see Nicole Kidman, have you seen that AMC intro that she did where she
It's
comes in?
uncomfortable.
It
Yeah.
runs through and they still playing it. It's been a year and a half. We get it. The movies are great.
Yes.
Stop. We don't need to see it. So she looks good, but I'm worried that she's going to talk about the power of the movies. This
Yes,
was my
no, it's
favorite
not good.
commentary.
Jeez.
Is Florence Pugh wearing my paint tarp? That's a good line, Rhea.
Hold on. Did she steal the hotel sheets? Is that what
Or the drapes or something.
What
It's
is
just
that?
and she's very attractive. I don't know
Oh.
what she was doing with her bangs. Like I'm going, do these people have a stylist?
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get the idea of, hey, I'm
No.
one of the most beautiful people in the world. Could you,
Oh.
Yeah.
could you make that less noticeable with my outfit?
God, look at
Exactly,
that
exactly.
thing. Oh,
All right.
that's awful.
Next up is Never Change Lenny Ever.
I
Hey,
mean, he's still a hot rocker at his age, and not many people, pretty much no one can pull this off. Lenny continues to pull it off.
yeah,
I gotta say this about Lenny. My favorite every single year, my favorite part of the Oscars is In Memoriam.
Yeah.
Yes,
The song he sang was spectacular. It was
he's
so
awesome.
he
was
did
great.
he did a great job. But the guy who put together the In Memoriam, terrible. Somebody died in an
You're right.
Oscar-nominated movie that didn't make it in.
You're right. They had some really obscure people, and then
Yeah.
people, Anne Heche, people like that were completely ignored. Robert
Forgot
Blake,
about them.
he had some incidents, but he was a big star. That was a poorly put together, but brilliantly executed by Lenny Kravitz song.
Yeah.
The song was fantastic.
Well,
He's awesome.
I did 2 projects with Paul Sorvino. I did a movie that I would like to forget about. I think he would too. But I also did a TV show that I was very proud of, and I think he was as well. And the fact that they left off a guy from Goodfellas, a major part of
You can't
Goodfellas.
do that.
Shame. Oh, and I said, Rhea, I'd fix the spelling on this. I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. It got auto-corrected, but Emily Blunt, it's Blunt.
Stunning.
This is the dress that Mindy Kaling should have worn because it's very similar. She's perfect. She's beautiful. She's funny. I'm a huge fan of her movies. She's married to John Krasinski. Her brother-in-law, Stanley Tucci. I mean, I want to be friends with Emily Blunt. That's how much I like her.
I have a prepared statement about Emily. No male ever created is worthy of that woman. She is, and she's got a great accent.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
My hall pass, Rhea. That's my. She comes to my house today. I've got the word of my wife. I can run away with her.
Wait, what about if Jessica Chastain's the other one? They say they're fighting over you, and you got to choose, Angela. You got to choose.
I'm assuming they'll be waiting for me at the pearly gates. Those two women. I love them both.
And a good,
good
example, by the way, of you don't need to go nuts with the outfit. It's just a white evening gown, and she takes your breath away.
That is classic Hollywood right there. That is what that is.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you check that out on the YouTube page. So that was our Oscar talk. It was a lot of fun. Real fast, because we got a lot to get to. I don't want to keep everyone here. I just got to say super quick, David Zaslav, real fast. HBO Max not getting the subscribers that they want. David Zaslav said, you know what the problem is? The HBO in HBO Max. They're considering dropping the HBO part to just make it Max, because that's where new view. This is the dumbest move. Yeah. They're just going to call it Max. HBO has spent 20 years building the best brand in television. It's not TV, it's HBO. When you hear HBO, your first thought is best TV around. And he thinks that's the thing that's stopping people from watching. Am I insane, or is this the stupidest thing you've ever heard?
Yeah,
he's probably being paid $40 million a year to come up with that brilliant thought.
Rhea, I don't know. You may be too young to know this. When I hear Max, that's short for Cinemax, which was known when it started for its soft core porn.
Exactly.
The Red Shoe Diaries and all those things. They want to go back to those roots. Are we going to get a lot of soft core porn now on HBO Max?
Ridiculous.
No, what are they doing, Max? Max is not a good name. Come up with, maybe, how about making HBO better again? And then you'll be proud to use the name. What about that possibility?
This is a company that started, it was HBO, then it was HBO Go, then it was HBO Now, then it was HBO Max, and now it just might be Max. Yeah, $40 million a year. Someone should take David Zaslav out to lunch and say, listen, maybe it's time to hang it up. You're not doing this correctly. All right, we're running long, so I want to get to our other stuff. We had a lot to talk about with the Oscars, so I'm sorry, everybody. Let's get to the thing you've all been waiting for, the most popular segment on the show, British Corner with Rhea Hughes. What do we got this week, Rhea?
Okay, we got Traces on BritBox, which is on Prime, 2 seasons. Now, a 65% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I will say that's because there's 2 seasons. First season is terrific. I didn't really care for the second season. It's a female-oriented series focusing on 3 forensic professionals in Scotland. Definitely use the closed captioning. Scottish accent is hard. Emma Hodges plays this young woman. Emma Hodges is the character. She moves back to her hometown of Dundee to take a job at the Forensic Institute, but to also look into the murder of her mother when she was a child. Now, her boss is Sarah Gordon, played by someone most of you will recognize from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Laura Frazier. Her character was Lydia Rodarte Quayle, who was the meth supplier.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Here's the interesting fact. None of you probably knew that she had a Scottish accent, because she used what I was told was an American accent, but she is in both of those shows. She was unable to be in the last season of Better Call Saul because of COVID restrictions. She couldn't travel between Scotland and the US. But anyway, the show is about basically this forensic institute is looking into the murder of 3 people at a nightclub, but it's against the backdrop of the historical murder into Emma's mother. I really loved it. I thought it was really cool. Quite a twist to the killer. Like I said, 2 seasons. I didn't particularly care for season 2. Season 1, I really liked.
Traces? Is that what it was called?
Traces on BritBox, which is available on Prime.
And you say it's like a forensic institute, so it's kind of like a CSI kind of deal.
Yeah, it's more forensic than it is a police procedural, and it's female oriented. If anybody's kind of interested in that.
Gotcha. Okay, so did you want to do Teen Corner? Or did you have another British Corner? I forget.
No. I have a Teen Corner, which you guys are going to be stunned about, because on Saturday afternoon, Clark and I were just kind of hanging about, and somehow we came on to discussing The Sound of Music. I have no idea how that happened. Okay.
Wow.
And so I think it was an Ariana Grande song that she sings that I said has basses in do re mi or something like that. Oh, few of my favorite things. She kind of does a riff on it. I said, "Hey, do you want to watch it?" He goes, "Yeah, why not?" We watched the whole thing. It's available on Disney Plus. He absolutely loved it. At some points, I said, "Hey," because it's long. It's like 3 hours. I'm not going to
Right.
say that it's a short. I said, "Hey, you want me to fast forward?" He goes, "No, I like the singing." And then I told him how I had been to Austria and I'd been all the places where they had filmed it. When they open the movie, the location shots in Austria will make you want to get on a plane and fly to Austria. Absolutely beautiful. You know, Julie Andrews is amazing. Christopher Plummer. I know the movie was filmed like in 1965 or something. He's still really handsome. But Clark loved the ending of the movie. I'm not giving away, the movie's been on for
Right.
100 years. When they escaped the Nazis, because Christopher Plummer plays a captain in the Austrian army who's been commissioned into the Navy, into the Nazis, and he hates the Nazis. So he, and it's the true story of the Von Trapp family singers. They escape and they're helped by the nuns. And it was Clark's favorite part of the movie. The best review I saw was nuns and gun-toting Nazis, what could go wrong? So, but it's the music in it is still, all these years later, spectacular. And my son's 13 years old, and I mean, my family used to watch it every Christmas Eve. And so I watched it with my son and he liked it.
I think a lot of people think of like older movies as like, Shakespeare or something that's like work to sit through.
This is like total fluff.
Right.
It's all singing, beautiful landscape. There's a love story. There's Nazis, it's not anything deep, but it's still a beautiful movie.
One of the last things I saw before the pandemic, I took my son, who would have been 12 at the time, to go see Casablanca in a theater that was packed.
Wow.
Probably that's where COVID started, was that theater. But it was like sold out, and everyone, it was laughing at all of the laugh lines, because there's a million laugh lines in that movie. Everything that Bogey says in that movie is spectacular. And my son was just like, this is a really good movie, like just shocked. And I think that that's what happens sometimes with they knew how to make them. If a movie lasts,
they really did,
100 years like that, or 50 years in the case of Sound of Music, there's a reason for it. So go check them out.
Yeah.
All right. Also built the last. Angelo Cataldi, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I just got one thing this week because I know we're running late, and I would like to begin it. I'm going to join together our world of sports with the world of Hollywood. Years ago, Rhea will remember this very well, we spent a lot of time on our show mocking Nnamdi Asomugha. He was a high-paid free agent defensive back who never panned out. And
he ate lunch in his car instead of the lunch.
To that, don't preempt my moment. And we found out near the end of his time with the Eagles that rather than be with his teammates, he had a bag lunch with him. He would go out to his car in the NovaCare complex, and he would speak to his girlfriend. And to say we mocked him would be a grave understatement. We didn't. We had him eating Lunchables. We had all sorts of stuff going on. Well, I would like to apologize because now I have really gotten to experience his wife, Kerry Washington, in a brand new show on Hulu called Unprisoned. And it just dropped a couple of days ago, and an emailer said, check it out. I only watched the first one. It's kind of a situation comedy. Her father is played by Delroy Lindo.
I love him.
Okay.
Great character actor. He has been in prison most of his life, and he gets out, and she's lived a great life without him, and now he's back to ruin her life. I'm telling you, Rhea, if you don't fall in love with her in 5 minutes, she is the most endearing. She's beautiful. Oh, but Rhea, she's got a manner about her that you just want to go, I want her to win, whatever it is. And her father's going to cause all sorts of trouble. It's on Hulu, Unprisoned. It's really good. The first episode was great. what I could see with it, but mostly I was focused on Kerry Washington.
Another
you never
win for
had
Hulu.
any respect for Nnamdi Asomugha
No.
until you found out who his girlfriend was.
Look, Rhea, if he was more interested in courting Kerry Washington than winning games, now I get it a little better. I understand. He
I
is
think there
worth the trouble.
You need to put a whole chapter in there called Kerry Washington. I'm so sorry in your memoir, Angela. So did you guys last night, we'll just finish real quick on this. Ted Lasso dropped. I know you're a big fan, Rhea. Have you seen the new episode of the third season yet?
I am still on season 2, so as soon as I finish that, I will get back to it. But I love it. I know, Angelo, you're not a fan. I couldn't love Ted Lasso more, but I love Roy even more. Roy is my favorite character because he uses the F-bomb more artistically in this show than I've ever seen anybody in my entire life. He's absolutely I've never seen a show more perfectly cast than Ted Lasso. I love every single person in it.
Brett
Well,
Goldstein.
I would like to make a statement on Ted Lasso because I did not like it. And I banned myself from watching it because I thought it was stupid and it was about soccer.
Right.
But I recalled now the same people that do that are doing Shrinking, which I do like, right?
Well, that's Roy, right?
And you may remember, Rhea, when Keith Jones was years ago, Keith Jones forced me to pick up Ray Donovan after I had given it up. And it ended up being one of my favorite shows. So Ted Lasso will get a second look this by me because I look, Shrinking's good. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the soccer thing hooked me up. I think I'm going to give it another shot, Jay. I'll let you know next week if it worked.
Oh, this is like a cliffhanger, guys. You got to tune in next week to find out about this. But yeah, Brett Goldstein, the guy who plays Roy, he was a writer on Ted Lasso, auditioned for Roy last. He was the last person. He wanted to play that character. He wrote the character, so he felt like he knew the character, came in, nailed the audition, got in good with the creator of the show, and he created Shrinking. The name of the Bob Lawrence, Bill Lawrence, excuse me. Bill Lawrence and him created Shrinking. I was talking about Brett Goldstein with Rhea. Not only is he Roy and a writer on the show, he's a writer and creator on Shrinking, and he also plays Hercules in the Marvel universe and hosts a great podcast called Movies to Be Buried With. Guy's doing a little better than me. And I'm we talk about competition. He's great. And I'm sure he's my wife's hall pass, but she hasn't said that.
And I will guarantee you 100% you will love the character of Roy.
He's great.
All right, I'm going to focus on Roy. I'll let you know next week.
So my 5 out of 5 or out of 5 stars, opening episode 5 stars, but it might just be I watched it this morning in the car while I was waiting for my Aunt Bibi to be done at the dentist. I watched it on my phone because I had nothing to do in the parking lot. But I give a 5 out of 5 because I was just so happy to have those people back in my life. And Angelo, I literally cannot wait to hear your evaluation on this.
I will let you know. This week we are recommending Traces on BritBox by Amazon Prime, Sound of Music Disney Plus, Unprisoned on Hulu, and do not watch HBO Max because Jay Black still hates David Zaslav.
We're feuding, Zaslav. Come on and find me. Let's make it happen. Guys, thank you so much for joining us again this week. Please go to our YouTube page, leave us a comment, tweet at me, leave a comment. And if you can, review us and rate us on iTunes. I know that sounds trite, but it really does help the algorithm find us. And we are all enthralled by the algorithm. Thank you so much for joining us. Angelo Cataldi, Rhea Hughes, have a great week.
Yeah.